Hey everybody, Don Morse here. Today we're going to be installing the brand new G2 handle system. This system comes with the rear grip, the butt grip, real seat trim, winding checks, and a customizable butt cap. Great thing about the G2 system, not only do you get a complete kit, it also has our brand new state-of-the-art G2 arboring system inside of it. Very easy to ream out and just super tough. Gonna help keep everything centered for you. So let's get this thing installed. Super easy to ream with just a hand reamer. You don't need any kind of drills or anything like that, no fancy reamers. This stuff stays center and is super easy to ream out. So now we got both of our grips reamed out. We're gonna go ahead to the gluing process. Now that we've got these reamed out to our liking, I'm gonna dry fit the handle system. So I'm gonna slide the butt down, get everything in place where I want it. Check it with our butt cap. Make sure everything is seated and tight. Winding checks in place. Sliding the rear grip down. About right in there, I think is where I want it. Checking everything fit, make sure everything is nice and tight, right where we want it. Check your spacing. It's about right for me, right where I like it. So everything fits in there nice. So now we're going to just take a pencil, mark where we want everything to go. Now, this does have an arbor, but on the split grip system, it is only on the bell end. So I am going to beef this up and add a small tape arbor. It won't take much because this fits the blank pretty well. I'm gonna add a small tape arbor on the tapered end before I glue everything in place. So I've gone ahead and I've installed the arbor on the butt grip. Now I'm going to do the one for the rear grip. You want to just make sure that you leave enough room for your winding check to fit in the grip before you put the tape on. So I'm just going to start my tape arbor here, slide that out of the way, and give it a few winds just to build up to the size of the grip. Should be good to go. All right, slide our winding check in place, get our dry fit, got our marks here, our real seat trim, and our butt cap. Just double check everything before we glue it up. This butt cap is great. These are super customizable. You can do a lot with them. You can engrave them. So you can take it down to the laser engraver and you can engrave them. You can put decals on them and epoxy over them. Lots of things you can do with these butt caps. Check this out. Everything's fitting, perfect. Everything fits right where we want it. So now we will go ahead and glue everything up. So when gluing these up using the extra tape arbor for support, there is a little bit of system you have to go through. My paste of choice is the Pro Paste 15 minute. So I'm just going to grab some equal amounts of this, of the hardener and the resin. Grab a glob of this here with a different stick. Get these mixed up. Now that we have this mixed thoroughly, let's go ahead and get these things glued on. So with the butt grip, I've reamed it out so it's a pretty snug fit, but I can still slide it off the end. That's important for this step. Grab our paste. Going to glue up around this arbor. We're going to get that on all sides, make sure that's completely sealed and locked in place. If any water happens to seep in here, when you seal this up completely on all the edges, it'll keep any water from getting to that arbor. So we're going to do that. I'm going to add just a little bit back here on the blank. Now, when I push this on, It's actually going to build a ring of epoxy up against the arbor that's installed in the grip. We're going to slide this on as carefully as possible. We'll have a little bit of cleanup. That centered, give it a nice spin as we go. Just like that. And grab a napkin here just to get rid of some of this extra. We're going to go past the tape on this and come up a little bit about where our arbor is going to be. I'm going to grab some more paste. Bring that in here. And I'm going to spin this back. So this is going to make a nice bond against that G2 arbor. So I do have a little bit of mess to clean up here. We can get our butt cap installed. Now it's completely up to you on how you want to install this butt cap. A lot of people will add extra arbors to get everything to fit nice and tight, but that's completely up to the builder and your experience. But I'm just going to make sure I get plenty of epoxy in here. Always keep napkins on standby. Get this thing glued in there. Give everything a little bit of a nice spin to get epoxy everywhere we need it. So that's nice and clean. Clean up this front. Slide. We still got some cleanup to do. I'm going to get this slid into place and locked in. I'm going to grab my alcohol, get this cleaned up, and then we're going to do the same thing to the front. Alright, so I've got most of that cleaned up. I've added some tape to the butt cap just to hold things in place until as it starts to set up, and we'll get a final cleanup done here in a little bit. So we got the butt grip installed. We're going to move on to the rear grip. This one's going to be a little bit easier because we don't have to slide it off the end of the rod, but we're going to do essentially the same thing. We're going to get the masking tape arbor that I added, get that sealed up, and use plenty of this paste. Whatever doesn't squeeze out stays inside and gives you a little bit extra bond. So I'm going to smear some of this on the blank. Slide that down. Get the majority of this off of here just to cut down on our cleanup at the final stage. Alright. Slide that past where we need it to be. Come in with a little extra epoxy to seal the front of that G2 arbor. Bring that back up to our pencil mark. Get this another wipe. Get our winding check in place. Then we have a final cleanup. Pretty easy to install, it doesn't take very long. Those G2 arbors are incredible. Super easy to ream, super strong. They're gonna hold up really, really well over time. Adding that extra arbor in there isn't essential, as the winding check will help center the grips up, but that's super easy. Now add our reel seat trim. Make sure I get this in the right direction. There we go. I've still got a little bit of epoxy on this front side to help hold that in place. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I'm gonna let the whole thing cure before I install the reel seat. On this rod in particular, I'm gonna be installing the brand new CCT blade seat. So hope that helped. Pretty easy to install grips. They look absolutely wonderful, super lightweight, super strong. So G2 split seats from American Tackle.